Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Honey. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Okay, a little old school for you guys. Listen, it is your girl, Miss Honey, here for another television review. It's Sunday, so we're going to be talking about PValley. This is season 2, episode 9. The episode is entitled Snow, but y'all know how we do it over here. I don't think that particular title fits what is going on here, so I've decided to give it a subtitle. That subtitle is called The Spirit of a Thing. Okay, come on now. Come on. We're going to do what we do, right? The spirit of a thing. The Bible says that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and spirits. Okay? Huh? Okay. Put a pin in that scripture, right? Okay. It comes to me in the scene. If you've seen the episode already, you know what I'm talking about with Corbin and Uncle Clifford down in the portal to hell room. It comes to me in this scene, in this moment, that I have been approaching this season with the wrong amount of from the wrong angle, without considering all of the context. Y'all remember when the season 2 first started, it had a spooky element to it. Y'all remember? Oh, we were seeing apparitions and spirits and spooky sounds and cold shivers and all of this stuff because of this horrible thing that had happened down there. It was clear to most of us that the Pynk, it must be haunted, even though I don't subscribe to all of those things. You know, that's the idea that we got. It was haunted, that there was these evil spirits there, so on and so forth. And we really, after maybe 3 episodes, not consecutively in order, but on 3 separate episodes, we see some signs of this, and then it sort of goes away. Everything else, life, emotions, circumstances, situations have superseded that whole storyline, this haunted kind of storyline. It's been sort of superseded by life going on in Chucalissa. Okay, so we really haven't spend any time with it in the last, I would say, 5-6 episodes. 4 to 5 episodes. I would say we've not revisited this thing, right? So it's almost like they've gotten off of that storyline, like that was something they were playing with and it didn't take hold, so now they moved on to doing things a little bit different. And it looks a lot like last season. In this last episode here, 8, these last few episodes, episode 9 and now 10, it's kind of feeling like, murder night all over again. But I beg to differ. I think there is still room to explore the idea that whatever was there, whatever energy that incident from last season, whatever that situation, that incident, that horrific incident which led to the killing of a man, even though it was in self-defense, the killing of a man, and then the dismemberment of his body, and then the scattering of those pieces all up into the Mississippi waterways. Okay, that incident changed things. That incident within itself shifted things in each and every one of our characters. It exposed some things. right? So a lot of times people consider, they think to themselves, this place is, something's not right with this thing or this person or that person, because this happened to them or that happened to them, or this happened in this place, right? And so they expect then to see spirits dragging, chains and you expect it to be these things that you've seen in TV and movies and all this stuff. You expect the manifestation of this pain and wounding and horror to come across in a tangible form that you can reconcile with your own mind. A ghost, a curse. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Maybe that thing is true, but instead of it looking like what we've been told it looks like, we should look within ourselves and see how the horror and the pain of our situation in our lives can haunt within our own bodies and our minds, okay? Can set up root, okay, within our own spirit. See, the haunting ain't down at the Pynk. The haunting is inside of each one of our characters. Oh yes, but let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it. All right. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to do that, you guys. It's important. All right. Okay. So listen. Autumn has what I like to call a compelling spirit, not to be confused with the Jezebel spirit. Okay, the Jezebel spirit collects trinkets and things, and it's a collector of things, right? It comes in and it gathers. Okay, and with all that it takes from you, it leaves you exposed, weakened, distracted, destroyed. Autumn has a compelling spirit, right? Autumn controls by compelling. She controls her life by compelling others to do the things that she wants them to do. Maybe when she was an orphan and she wanted to be picked. Maybe she would, she has a way of compelling, whether it's through physical compulsion or it's whispering in your ear, that type of thing. August is has a compelling spirit. She done talk Andre into letting her use the dancers down at the Pynk to do his campaigning, and it has worked out really, really well. He is like number 1 in the polls. Okay, I mean, he came from very, very far behind because the truth came out about his daddy, and now he's on the top. He's at the top because he allowed Autumn to talk him into letting the strippers do his campaigning for him. Okay. Now they're getting ready to vote any moment. The night that the Pynk has its grand reopening, okay, that very same day was the day that they all voted. So that next day they should have the numbers in, right? Now, we're not going to get into the fact that we have promoted everything but voting. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that this review. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. So you left brain and right brain thinkers, cut it out. Oh, child. Listen. So she done talked him into letting his campaign be led by the strippers. Okay. She's also convinced Keyshawn that her only escape is running away, right? And she also convinces her that this is the only answer, Without thought at all, if Keyshawn has the capacity to survive like she has survived, without thought at all that Keyshawn is going to be removed from everything that she knows with 2 children, okay, and even though she's gonna have resources in terms of money, because she gonna get that bank from the door, does she have the emotional capacity to be a runner, to stay gone? Autumn hadn't thought about any of this. Okay, what she needs is the Pynk to do well. Okay, and then she needs it to do so well, and she needs Andre in office. She needs Keyshawn to bring in this influx of cash, a draw at the door. Okay, she continues to work her plan when she's down at the Pynk, and she tries to talk Mercedes into being on the bottom, because Mercedes is not strong enough to be at the top of the pole anymore. Okay. Doesn't really work that well on Mercedes at all. Autumn then goes and continues to work around the Pynk. It's a big night. It is a big night. And she wants to make sure the floss is straight. You know, that's the gear that they wear. She gives the young lady there that is collecting, is selling the floss. She gives her the money to go down to Rainbows, you know what I'm saying, and get a whole bunch of gear, you know what I'm saying, to put up on that wall, so that the girls can be, you know, dressed appropriately. Okay, for a long night of getting that bag, getting that money. Okay, so she gets that done successfully, and then it comes over her in a wave. Runs to that filthy bathroom and throws up. Whisper runs through and say, "You ready for them twins?" Autumn starts thinking. She thinks to herself, ugh. In the middle of it all, they've had they're having the reopening, and Andre is on cloud 9. Okay, he is on cloud 9. You guys, listen. Andre has a validate spirit. Andre has a validate spirit, okay? There is no activation in him without validation. Okay? And so he's all in with this whole stripper campaigning thing because it's working and his numbers are up there. Okay? It is lost on him when he sees what he thought was a good idea being used by Patrice, the dragon Woodbine. Same thing, except she her own stripper. She on her own pole. It's awful. It's terrible. Patrice. Patrice, I know you got some parishioners that used to be strippers. Like, what is you doing up here with your stiffness? Yo. He sees the same tactic being used by Patrice. And she's getting the same reaction. She's enjoying some of the same benefits. The only person that's not enjoying the same benefits of these shenanigans and this salaciousness is Wayne Kyle, because he in third place behind Patrice, who is behind Andre. They both dancing with the devil by the pale moonlight, except Patrice Woodbine. Been doing it for years. Baby. Years. Okay. He doesn't understand that because he's getting this validation up in numbers in the polls and people are celebrating him. He's got Autumn there with him consistently, advising him and leading him in this way, right? And he's being validated. The people like him. They speak to him when they see him. They call him a Chuckalisa boy, that type of thing. And so that's why he's all charged up. Okay, he doesn't realize right now that everything that sounds good and looks good and tastes good and can still be no good for you. Huh? Okay. He doesn't understand that he had a choice. He had a choice to do this thing the right way, good, bad, or indifferent. But instead he let Autumn come in this way, okay, and riding on some beautiful brown areolas. She's compelled him to let her create a brand for him that he never intended for himself. In season 1, this was not Andre. In season 1, Andre wanted to do good for the people, and this gonna bring jobs to the community, and woot the woot the woot the woot the woot. We've gone to using a form of corruption as our campaign, right? I'm just saying. All because he's been validated, okay? Anyone who, when you have this validate spirit, anyone that validates you activates you. That makes you a pawn. That's what that makes you. That makes you a pawn. And listen, they down at the Pynk during the reopening, and he's made a speech. He's tried to even, try to seem a little less square, by having this conversation and, this jargon, this language, this familiar slang and that type of thing. In the middle of it all, child, he is on such a high of validation, child. He is just, he drunk with it. And Autumn, he tries to kiss Autumn, and she was like, no, no, you don't need to be photographed kissing your mistress, sir. And so she compels him to take all of his hard, stiff excitement back to his house, okay, where they claw. They kissing and clawing and scratching at each other, getting in that dough, child. They cannot wait to get in there and connect them parts, baby, when the light comes on. And guess who it is? Andre's wife. Is this your campaign manager? They just standing there. Yeah. So that's Autumn, and that's Andre. That's what's going on with Autumn and Andre. Autumn has set all these things in motion. Okay, she's compelling overtime, talking people into things and wooing them into things. Okay, and she set this trajectory now for Andre, one he can never go back on. But she's able to do this because of her compelling spirit and Andre's validate me spirit. Validate me, make me feel important. Talk to me and make me feel like I want to get up and do something, be something. Okay, all right, y'all with me so far? Okay, listen, Mercedes got a defeated spirit. She's got a defeated spirit, okay? She's used to being done wrong, okay? She comes to expect it from everybody and everything, right? I almost halfway feel like the reason why she gave her mama that money last season, even though it was all that she had, was because she didn't expect for herself to do better. She didn't expect for herself to have more. She didn't think that she could be more than her mother, beyond her mother. I know what she said, but we talking about the spirit of a thing, okay? We talking about dealing with the spirit of a thing. It's not the person that you're dealing with, okay? We wrestle not against flesh and blood. It's the spirit behind that person, the spirit within that person that you're ultimately dealing with in this world, everybody. Come on now. Come on. Listen. No matter what forms it comes in, she's come to expect things not to go her way, not to be on her side, not to be for her. Okay? Her real beauty, the real beauty that is Mercedes, is being guarded by a scared bulldog. That's why you get all this and whoop and it. Okay. The one thing she could call her own, the one thing she is truly good at is dancing. And it's failing her right now because she's afraid of falling. And what's in your mind and in your spirit, baby, will override blood vessels, muscles, right? It'll override that your stomach telling you to stop. You keep eating. You've had enough. You keep drinking. I'm telling you, that mind and that spirit, if it ain't in control, God, there is a prayer that says, God, guard my heart and my mind. That's in the Bible. Okay? Because that mind and that spirit, if it's out of whack, it'll control that body. It'll control that body. I'm telling you. It's a powerful thing. She allows the defeat inside of her to rob her of her talents, of her money. When she gets up on that pole and they practicing, all four of the girls are there. They are practicing on their individual poles. Even though Mississippi is supposed to be the headliner, aka Keyshawn. Keyshawn is on the bottom and Mercedes is convinced she can do this. She can get this done. And she gets up that pole and she gets up that pole and she gets up that pole and she looks down and she was like, God dog, I'm not far enough. And she had to take a couple of more leaps up that pole. I mean, all you can hear is that okay, that push and that pull, that her breathing through the heaviness of her body and the pain. It's a glaring sound in the middle of this room. She is struggling. Okay, and Clifford is excited. He is very, very excited about the fact that she could actually pull this off. Okay, but Keyshawn looks up at her and Keyshawn can see, oh no, this isn't the same Mercedes. She's not as confident. This is not, no. So she goes up and at first it seems like it's a part of the routine, but I now think Keyshawn went up that pole to kind of position Mercedes, like to move her from this place of fear and come on girl, you got this. You know this routine, let me show you, let's do this, that type of way, kind of like trying to rally her a little bit, with the act of climbing that pole behind her. And then Keyshawn spreads her legs and leans out to the side and shows Mercedes how it's done, and Mercedes got to pull it off, but she's trying to get her mind wrapped around what she got to get her body to do. And she does it. And Clifford is so excited. Yes. And he looks down at Autumn like, see, I told you my girl got it all pulled together. Right? That kind of thing. And she cannot wait. She cannot wait to get out of that position because she is about to lose it. By this time, when she realized she got to get out of that position, Keyshawn has already shimmied her way back down to the bottom of the doggone pole, right? Because she knows if this girl goes down, I go down with her, right? And so Mercedes is up there, and she comes out of that position, and she's like, oh, and baby, she comes down that pole, baby. When I tell you, she come down that pole like a jar full of nickels, clank, clank, blank, 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 clank, 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 clank. Keyshawn is at the bottom like, let me get the heck out of Dodge. And she scurries off, baby. And when Mercedes gets down to the bottom of that, she's so glad her feet on the ground. She is so glad her feet on the ground. She ain't got time to worry about what people is saying. But after she collect herself in them few little seconds and she look up, baby, they letting her have it. Everybody looking at her like, girl, you ain't got it. That was not it. Yeah, you did it. You did it. And you showed your work, child. But we can tell, baby, you can't count. You cannot count. Not on this talent. Not no more, baby. No. and she's being you know attacked on from everywhere, and Autumn wants her to be at the bottom of the pole now, and since you obviously can't do the top, you need to get to the bottom of the pole, and Roulette is calling her old and geriatric coochie, and she gonna kill us all. And how we see the door, they can only have 50% capacity because of the COVID, and the lady that caught COVID because Sneezy Smurf sneezed in her face. The health inspector, she the only one working, and she works pretty late at night. You know what I'm saying? Like this whole health inspector piece is just nonsense, but I digress. So they can only do 50% capacity. Now, Autumn has convinced Keyshawn that she is going to get her 50% of the door. You know what I'm saying? But nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Okay? Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. They can only do 50% capacity inside, which means the crowds are going to have to rotate if they plan on making any money at all. Okay? And Mercedes she is raw. She is backing them up off of her left and right and left. And Keyshawn does not like all of this arguing and fussing and fighting. It just sets her teeth on edge, and she just finally says, listen, why don't we do this? Instead of 50% of the door for me, why don't we just split it 4 ways? All 4 of us split the door. Okay, Roulette jumps back in, and it's negatory. Okay, Mercedes runs over to Keyshawn, and when Keyshawn said she was gonna split the door, Autumn was like, "No, that's all the money you have." Right? And Mercedes was like, just like I thought. You can't pull the trigger neither way. You still ain't been able to pull the trigger neither way, huh? Neither way. And baby, Diamond was like, ooh. Yeah. Remember that night she chose Derek over you, Diamond? Yeah, that's what she was talking about. And she goes and snatches her poster down and rips it to shreds and storms out. She quits. Let's see how y'all gonna have a reopening without the Mercedes experience. She storms out. Okay, and Clifford is right behind her. You know, I give it to Nico Anon, baby. He can get it in them shoes. He was right behind her, and she is, you know, he's like, rule number 1111229, and she is like, I don't want to hear that. I need you to tell me the truth. Is Mississippi better than me? I can't dance no more. I've lost it. I need you to be honest with me and tell me the truth. And he gives her, you know, all that he could. You know, he takes a couple of words and weaves them into a metaphor. Okay. Gives her a joint and tells her, you know, this what it is. At the same time, she getting a call from Farrah. Farrah wants her to come up to Tennessee, Memphis, for a minute. And she got something to show her. She ain't got nothing else to do, so that's what she does. And when she gets up there, she sees that Farrah has taken so many photos of her, and she has compiled those photos into a photobiopic art display. It's an exhibit, and the exhibit is called the Mercedes Experience. Huh? Woo, baby. When she walks in there and she sees all those different photos, baby, it's like you could feel, the bricks falling, the wall, that wall that she has built up, you know, in this defeat, with this defeatist attitude, with this, I ain't never had nothing, I ain't gonna never be nothing, and nothing ever works out for me, and this ain't right, and everybody out to get me, and trying to. You could just feel it falling in the wake of her own beauty, in the wake of her own strength. She can see it. It's been captured in photos and blown up in this really beautiful way and lit just perfectly. And as she's coming in, she's hearing people saying wonderful things and how it makes them feel seeing her in these photos. And you could just see, woo, baby, the years, oh my, of pain begin to fall off of her. It's a moment. Farrah comes and they're standing there and they're talking, and Farrah apologizes, and Mercedes is giving her props for the photos, and she's in awe of the photos, and Farrah lets her know that seeing her in this moment, having this experience with her, even though it didn't turn out well, it helped her because now she's divorcing Coach Candyman. Some things are more important than money. You get a little bit more, says the rich lady. Bark from Mercedes, says the rich lady. Farrah also wants to know if she can have a little bit more of that magic. I need a little bit more of that. What you gave me, that gave me the strength to get out of my situation, to put together this beautiful art exhibit. Can I have a little bit of more of that? And Mercedes says, no, it wasn't pleasure, it was business. Maybe just a little bit of pleasure, but mostly business. That's not me. Oh, okay. So you let Maine know that you wasn't down for that no more. You wasn't with the hit it and quit it. You know what I'm saying? You did like you over just needing a maintenance man, and you letting Farrah know, listen, when you say it's not about the money, it's not about the money, baby. For me, I'm on to something better. I'm doing some. I had fun. I had a little fun with you, but I'm on. I got my mindset on a different trajectory. I'm pointed in a different direction. Okay. We see where she sits down. Farrah accepts what she has to say. I don't want to see you sexually. I don't want to see you in that way anymore. And Farrah tells her to enjoy the exhibit. And then she sits down in front of this beautiful picture of her leaning back off the pole with her arms sort of in this the shape of a 4, but you have to see it. She's bent over backwards, and her legs and her knees and her stretched and the foot hanging. It's gorgeous. She sits there in that moment, and in that moment, I promise you, I could see that defeat turn into defiance. I could see that spirit of defeat being ousted out, and the spirit of defiance of ushering in. You know, defeat and defiance, all of these words can be good or they can be bad. These things can be your gift or they can be your curse. When we say defiance, you can defy someone, right? Go against and rebel. Or you can defy. You can refuse to go, refuse to die, refuse to fail. Refuse to fall short. Refuse to give up. To refuse to keep letting yourself be used and abused and mistreated and having people clean their feet on you like a welcome mat. Defiance! Come on now. Whoo, baby. Later on, it's the reopening. Okay? Ain't nobody asking about it. Ain't nobody wondering about it, really. Not out loud. Not on camera. You know what I'm saying? But she's standing there, and Maine is there. Now, Maine is there because his gang is opposing rivals to Lil Murda's gang. Okay? And last episode, Lil Murda killed one of the members of their gang. Okay, and so they there to keep an eye on Lil Murda, and if he give even the slightest hint that he may have had something to do with Pico's death, they gonna pow. He ain't even there for Mercedes, but he does ask her why she wasn't dancing, and she says that she doing some things different now. She just there to look at the art, and this is when we see her look at Keyshawn not as a rival. Not as the dartboard in which she can throw her verbal darts at. Easy prey. She looks at her for what it is. Art form. A form of art. right? The beauty that is is there inside of Keyshawn's art form. Yeah. She said, I'm just here to look at some art. Okay. I said, come on now, Mercedes. Oh yes. Okay. Even later than that, we see her walk up on Lil Murda, and he is in. He's trying to ease his mind. He's trying to bring it down. You know what I'm saying? Take that, bring it down a little bit, and trying to ease his mind a little bit. And he's listening to headphones, trying to get himself centered and everything. I mean, it's been one thing after another. This night has gone south, real south. But we gonna talk about that. Okay, and Lil Murda does what he does best. He comforts her. He lifts her up. Okay, and he confirms what she already knows now. That she's had that moment of contemplation in front of a photo of herself in one of her strongest moments. He confirms that what she already knows. Baby, you are a force. A force. Huh? You make a grown man nervous, huh? Oh yes, you're beautiful and statuesque and built ever so loverly. Huh? Oh yes, you are a force. Gives her the earphones to listen to. I think we're going to see one more dance from Mercedes. And I think she's going to dance it like it never been danced before. And I think she's going to and she is going to turn and she is going to change and take control over her life. She no longer will live in defeat. That is my prediction. But she will live in defiance. Huh? Ooh. Come on now. Let's go on to Clifford. You know what? Before we do Clifford, let's do Keyshawn. Okay? Keyshawn has got that damsel spirit. Okay? She's gotten so comfortable with being saved, she don't even realize that she's the superhero. She's the superhero. Oh yes. Oh yes. She runs down the plan to Autumn, unbeknownst to her, that room is bugged. And let me tell you how that room got bugged. That room got bugged because remember when they brought the people in to do the COVID cleanup, okay, and redo everything, and they had a lockdown because of curfew, and they had to sleep around the Pynk, and so they go into the room where Autumn been squatting, and they found the French African guy in there acting like he was looking for the bathroom and he was facing the wall. Y'all remember that? Yeah. I think I talked about it in my review. I'm like, well, how he thought that was a bathroom? It was a wall. I didn't get it. Okay. He a part of the group because I remember going back to when they was first unloading the truck with all the PPP stuff. I don't even know if that's what that stuff is called, but when they was unloading all that stuff, and he told the guy in French African dialect, he told him, oh yes, this will do, right? Okay. And then later on, they find him in there, and he facing the wall, and Uncle Clifford was talking all loud like, bathroom is down the hallway, you know what I'm saying? Like talking louder. I know we talked about this already, but anywho, that guy bugged that room. That's how that room got bugged. I believe that's how that room got bugged. Okay, I think that was the initial thought process. Now, you know, I don't know if that for sure, that if that's what it is, or if there is another individual whom we're gonna talk a little bit about later who did it themselves. But I think this is what happened when they came in there working around the Pynk. I think those individuals put listening devices and cameras up down at the Pynk. That's what I think, but I'm prepared to be wrong. Anywho, So she in there giving Autumn a rundown of her plan of how she gonna leave and what she gonna do, and she got her passports and all this stuff, and Autumn is saying you need to go ahead and go now because and this is all valid what I'm telling you because I'm gonna be right behind you leaving. And it just kind of for Keyshawn, it was like, okay, she did it, I can do it, and she's not gonna stay here either. So she asked Autumn where she was going, and Autumn was like, I was just trying to see if you follow your own rules. No, she was trying to see where you was gonna be because she was gonna try to be there too, because it's better to know you who she barely knows than nobody at all in a space, in a place, in a time. Okay, she walks up to Diamond afterwards in the kitchen, and she's got this buzz, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't come back because I knew you were here. I didn't know you were here." And he is just looking at her. I don't know what he doing over there, washing dishes or what, but he just looking at him. And he was like, and she said, "So I will go. I'll leave. And he's like, "You want water for that?" that water jug, and she was like, "Oh yeah." And so he filling the water up for her, and he looks up and he sees she's got that necklace on, and she is like, "Oh yeah, I mean, I figured I'd wear it, and it's my protection, and anyway, I've learned how to let my hair down from my towel now. I'm no longer just princess." In other words, you can come save me if you want to. You can come save me. I will not stop you this time from saving me if you want to. Damsel. You don't need Diamond. You don't need Derek. What you need before you need anyone else is you. You need you to save you. Okay? And that way can't nobody else trap you and make you feel like you need a hero to come riding in. Whoo! Come on now. Spirit of the damsel. Okay? Next thing you know, Big Bone standing there, and she breaks it up. She may be thirsty, but I'm hungry. Where we at on my wings? Sends Keyshawn on her way. And then even later on, Keyshawn is walking through, and Big Bone pulls a high school move. You bumped me. Why you trying to bump me? Watch where you going. Trying to provoke an argument with Keyshawn. And Keyshawn was like, I have no idea what you're talking about, first of all. And Keyshawn kind of holds her own in the conversation. But Big Bone lets her know, I can't wait for you to leave tomorrow. Keyshawn said, well, how you know that? She said, these walls have ears and they got mouths too. That's why I don't think that the Pynk being bugged is just Big Bone. I think there's some other people involved, but I digress. So then we see where later, after there's this big melee and all of this stuff is going on, she just decides it's better for her to just leave, okay? And she's packing up her things, and she sees Mercedes, a picture of a Mercedes on her station, and she goes, takes a lipstick, and she writes, talks to Mercedes about her being a great friend and all of that, and boo 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 boo. It's kind of like a see you later alligator type thing. They do it in on RuPaul's Drag Race. On RuPaul's Drag Race, when the one of the contestants gets kicked off, they go back to the room where they all stay and wait for their competition, and they write on the big mirror, their parting words. And so she's doing her parting words, and Clifford comes in, and she's like, "Oh," he's like, "You leaving? I didn't think you would ever wanted to be bothered with me." And he says to her, "Girl, this has been your home. You basically have grown up here, and I don't ever want to see your beautiful face here again. In other words, go out there, be great. Don't worry about us here. Okay? Don't worry about what we got going on here. You go on and be great." And so he forgives her and frees her for now. because this episode ends with to be continued, right? So we haven't seen Keyshawn leave. We know that Keyshawn is trying to leave, but we know there are a lot of variables in between this. And I am just wondering if Keyshawn is going to stay in this damsel spirit, right? I'm just wondering that, because in the melee she is down on the ground and head covered and she is frightened. In comes Diamond. The rescue spirit comes in and swoops her up, and she thanks him by giving him a kiss. She he saved her. This is the most romantic thing she's ever had. This is what she considers to be love. Saving me, rescuing me, telling me what to do, telling me which direction, being in charge of, in control of. This is the damsel spirit. I need you to do it for me. I need you to show me how. I need you to fix it. And so she responds to the rescuer spirit with a kiss. A kiss. A kiss. And he does lean in on it, but he comes to himself. Woo! Keyshawn. Oh! No. Walks off. Big Bone sees it all. You didn't scare her off. You didn't scare her off. There are greater spirits at work here, Big Bone, than you. Okay. So while we on the subject, to be continued with Keyshawn next week, Diamond, the rescue spirit. He'll jump in to save somebody even if he can't swim himself. Right? Always looking for the next crisis. When there isn't any crisis, he creates it through his actions, through his anger, through his angst. Okay? He nurtures it, you know what I'm saying? By taking up with a woman that he knows that he doesn't quite fully trust himself. Right? He's back there at the Pynk because they need him there. Even though it's not good for his mental, he's already said it. It's not good for his psyche. He's already said it. It's not good for his anger issues. He's already said this. But he's back. Because somebody might need saving. Somebody might need rescuing. It ain't going to get done if I ain't here. Okay? He thinks he can control his own feelings of inadequacy through acts and actions. All right? Makes himself feel better by being the savior, the rescuer. The one that jumps in and helps, jumps in and does. This is confirmed by Uncle Clifford when he practically offers up Diamond to go and be security for murder. Right? What would make Clifford think he could do that? Diamond just gonna pick up and leave and go on tour? No, because he know Diamond to do it. Diamond to do anything to help. Anything at all to help. Including if it hurts him. He tries to control his own feelings of inadequacy through acts and actions. And all the while, he's oblivious to the fact that he can't swim. He's drowning or he's being drowned in the case of Big Bone. Okay? Keyshawn, damsel spirit. Diamond, that's the rescue spirit. That's the rescue spirit. Okay? Let's go on and we're going to talk a little bit about Corbin. Corbin has the torment spirit. We're going to get back to Uncle Clifford. Corbin got a torment spirit. He's addicted to abuse. You know, he's the fly, the gnat at everyone's picnic. He just wants to be swatted. He begs to be swatted. Okay? He's mastered the art of being the question that no one is asking. He makes himself a nuisance. He wedges himself between in situations and places and things because that's how he was born. He was born in the middle of something. Okay? And once he was born, he became everybody's nuisance. He became everybody's torment. Right? So he's grown addicted to those verbal lashings. He's grown addicted to the verbal bashing, the verbal aggressiveness, calling him out of his name, of being punched and pushed and poked and stabbed and tortured. He has fed off of it until now he himself, he's got a torment spirit. He's always positioning himself to be punished, positioning himself to be punched, physically, verbally, literally, figuratively, metaphorically. Long as it's a punch, just make sure it hurts. Okay? And he doesn't feel alive without the pain. Okay? He doesn't feel heard without the pain. Okay? Of being swatted, of being punished. And that, brings him to this place where he goes back to what he knows. I have forgotten. I forgot that Uncle Clifford used to do S&M with Corbin. High school friends, grew up together, and also she's a dominatrix to his submissive. I've forgotten all about it. Completely forgotten about it. Okay. And when he can't feed off of the pain that other people are giving him, when that's not enough, he torments his own flesh. He punishes his own flesh just to feel something. And that's when we see this. Okay? Go back to when Patrice came into the crowd and she was doing her own little stripper campaign thing. She turned his bribe into a campaign moment. He almost seemed giddy about it. Go back and look at that little smirk on his face. It was something about her giving it to him like that he took pleasure in. He took a little bit of pleasure in. So he goes down to the Pynk and he wants to give Clifford $250,000 just to whip his back with a whip. And the whole time he's convincing Clifford of this, he takes his clothes off. And when he takes his clothes off, on his back, he's got scars. He's been whipping himself. He's been whipping himself. He's been lashing his own back. It only helps for a while. He needs someone else to demean him. He needs someone else to punish him. Okay? He needs someone else to give him that fix. Later on, when he goes and after Clifford concedes and whips him, he goes to party with his boys, and it's like he just took a bump in the bathroom, like. He comes out of that whipping like he is, high as Cooter Brown. High up to the sky. Torment spirit. He seeks punishment as validation. Whoo, my. Big L. He got a tofu spirit. He takes on the flavor of whatever situation you put him in. Okay, he's meaty and filling. Okay, just like tofu. He's been 10 different things down in the Pynk. They got the health inspector lady there, and Clifford want him to go and get with the lady so the lady will give him more time. And the prospect, the idea of it, allows her. She decides that she's going to give them 75% capacity instead of 50% capacity. Okay. He been 10 different things down at the Pynk. And now he's a conspirator. He is conspiring. See, this is how whatever happened down there in the Portal of the Hell room in last season, how it has shifted and changed. And Big L is a very, very, very a good example of that. Him and Lil Murder. But I digress. Okay. Now he conspires. When Clifford comes and confronts him about the fact that they've been moving okra, aka pills. They just holding until they move them on to the next spot. They the plug, basically. Distribution. Clifford finds the pills and confronts him about it. And it's a moment. At the same time that he's having a come to Jesus moment with Clifford, and he tells Clifford, I had to do something. We're sinking. You're allowing Autumn to walk up one side of you and down the other. You're not doing anything. You're not acting. You're not moving. What's happening with you? It's like you stuck. It's like you don't see that everything around you, you're about to lose it all. Okay? You see that this woman is gonna sell this your life, your dream, my life, everything I got going on too, out from under us. And you don't realize it's not gonna take anything, nothing's gonna work outside of killing her. She's gotta be dead. She can't sell if she dead. Really, Big L? Really? I mean, first murder, but now you? Oh yes. The haunting is inside of our characters. It ain't down at the Pynk. It's with the people that's down at the Pynk. Okay. Whisper's got a siren spirit. She's meant to distract and redirect. Okay. Look up siren. What a siren is. Distract and redirect. Okay. Sneezy Smurf is through this whole episode, you see her pop in. She only has a few lines here and there, but she pops in, and it's always meant to kind of break things up a little bit. Distract, redirect. Okay. Sneezy Smurf is crying and crying and crying. She distracts and redirects. Listen. Roulette can help you. She can show you how to make money now that you've been fired for sneezing all over everybody and giving Clifford's grandmother COVID, and your bills are due. You don't know how you gonna make it. Roulette can help. Redirects. She's putting her in harm's way. But distract and redirect. That is twins. You ready for twins? This what she tell Autumn. You ready for twins? You think you leaving? Distract. You think you leaving? You think you gonna sell the bank and then leave? Distract, redirect. That's Whisper. The siren spirit. Okay. Are you there? Okay. Listen. Roulette got a corrupt spirit. Okay, she convolutes everything around her. She does. I love her moments. I love the actress acting. I love how she plays out her scenes. She has really come up in this episode from episodes 1 and 2. Like, she has really soared. But we're just talking about the spirit of the character. She has got a corrupt spirit. The Roulette character is a corrupt spirit. She convolutes everything around her. She was corrupted and is now corrupts. She was corrupted and now she corrupts. She leans in on Mercedes' moment of weakness, and she stokes it and she sets it loose to implode, okay? Because after she said them couple of things to Mercedes, she was already heated and already defeated and all of that. And baby, when I tell you she got the racket. I mean, barking and biting and snarling at Autumn and telling and telling what happened in the portal to hell room and how she did 7 pounds of pressure for her, okay? And how it was directed at someone else and not Mercedes. Big Bone just standing there like, okay. Everybody is. You just told that you committed a crime here. It ain't gonna take nobody but a minute to put it together. Half a second at best. Huh? Sets her loose to implode. Okay, Roulette, corrupt spirit. She gives Sneezy Smurf the money to pay her bills after being fired, but makes it known that Sneezy Smurf now works for her. Yeah, she's pimping. She's pimping. Y'all shocked? She pimping. Ain't nobody calling it, but she pimping. All right. Duffy tries to approach the lion and gets the claws. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to stop her from walking away. He's like, oh, no, wait a minute. Let me talk to you. She was like, yoke. And he was like, he notices that she done took that big stack of money and she done bought her a big old iced out chain of a gun. Okay, yokes him. You know, but she do allow him some grace. Allows him to stroke the kitty. Nice kitty. Calm kitty. Sweet kitty. Oh, yes, she doesn't want to snatch his lungs out, does she? No, she doesn't. She's a sweet little kitty cat. And she purrs and purrs and purrs. I was like, oh, Duffy, them teeth is still real short now. They still real short. She's digging in here at the Pynk. And Chuckalisa. Okay, it seems like she's the boss bee and she's taking charge and she knows the things, but if you look behind her in her wake, it ain't nothing but debris and flames and destruction. Roulette, the spirit of corruption. Spirit of corruption. Oh, it can be changed. Oh yes, she can turn things around. Huh? It can be done. But this is what it is. Let's talk about Clifford. Clifford's got the concealment spirit. Okay. Clifford is so busy covering up and hiding, he doesn't recognize, or Clifford doesn't recognize. Clifford is so busy covering up and hiding that Clifford does not recognize, okay, all the hidden things around him. Right? You're so busy covered up, you don't see that there's tons of other things hiding right in front of you. Right in front of you, Clifford. Okay? And Big L calls it out. He does. Big L calls it out. What is going on? You got your head in the sand. You're losing everything. And you still trying to keep up with this facade. Okay? He's over there playing house with murder. Okay? Grandmother Ernestine is still in the hospital. But he's scared to be alone. He don't want to be by himself. Okay? Is murder gonna stay? You gonna stay here? Now he down there at his breakfast. Okay, murder is got on his skivvies. Okay, they done finished, bumping and grinding around the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And he murder ain't got no shirt on. He got on his skivvies. Some old sweats and stuff. And just you sitting there at the dinner table with a full unit on, baby. Lace front. Full unit. Nails, makeup, the works. Now, apparently y'all just got up. Why is you... Oh my gosh. What about the tour? Your song is everywhere. You going on tour with Tina Snow. Murder's like, I don't know. Later on, when like I said, Mercedes seemed like she doing good on the pole. He's proud and he's almost haughty at Autumn. Like she's gonna pull it out. Everything as long as everything looks fine in Clifford's mind and his eyes, then it's fine. Okay, at the grand reopening, he and Murder both addressed to the nines, and he is still more hidden in this moment, more hidden now than ever. He's got accessories and nose and the ears and the jewelry and the rings, and the hair has got this gold wrapped around it, and it drags the floor, and the eyes and everything. It's just Murder notices all of the shiny things, and in his response confirms to Clifford, confirms to him that the shiny things work. People are drawn to the shiny things. People are drawn to the costuming, the all of the things, right? All of the things works. Okay. So this is why I stand out. This is what makes me different. This is how I get acknowledgement. No one has to know me. They just have to see me. Woo! Come on. Come on. No one has to know me. They just get to see me. Everything looks fine, therefore it is fine. Later, after the skirmish, he sees a different side of Murder. He doesn't seem to know what to do with that side of him. He seems confused by it. Like I'm not. He doesn't know what to do with that moment. Okay. Right? He's Uncle Clifford in this moment. He's not Clifford. He's Uncle Clifford in this moment. In this moment, he just wants everybody to calm down. I don't want this to ruin my night. I don't need my club to be messed up. I need everything to be in order. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow. And Murder shares some things with him. You know, he in his anger and his angst and everything that's going on with him and his anxiety, he lets on that he's taking a life. And Uncle Clifford thinks it's about the night he showed up at his house, never to leave again. And Murder clears it up for him. No, it wasn't that. That wasn't it. But that definitely wasn't it. That night was anything but that. He says, but I have done some things. Some people want some. They won't me to pay for those things. This is when Clifford offers Diamond services. This is the answer. Sending Diamond out to be killed. Yeah, this is the answer. Oh, Clifford. Okay. Calm down, Murder. You're messing up the facade. That's when he discovers the box of pills, and he goes in to confront Big L, and Big L brings him to this mirror and says, "Listen, you best face what's going on. You best face the situation you in, and you better handle it. It's not gonna be handled with all of these bells and whistles and costuming and all of this stuff. You got to put your big human panties on." He fires Big L. Big L says, "You don't fire me, I quit." Storms out. He gets a call from the hospital. We don't hear that phone call. But when he comes in to comfort Keyshawn, when he comes in and sees that she's packing up and she's writing on that mirror her goodbyes to Mercedes, and he comes in and he comforts her. He tells her, life is too short. You must go. Okay? Okay? It's unpredictable. He tells her, okay? It's short and unpredictable. He said, go on. Fly free. Okay? Fly free. Sets her free. It is a moment. And then he sits down in the mirror where she has written in this red lipstick, and you see it, in the reflection of the mirror, the red lipstick writing, the tears, the makeup, the you know what I'm saying, the costuming, the put together, the hair. It's all there. It's this conglomeration of confusion and confunction and esteem, that or the lack thereof of just coming to grips with all of this that you put together is shattered. It is falling apart. This is where you are strong. This is where you are comfortable. And it is falling apart. Falling apart. We still don't know about Grandmother Ernestine. She said life is short but unpredictable. We still don't know. A lot has happened. So in this moment when we see him, we are seeing Clifford. Not Uncle Clifford. We see Clifford. In this cacophony of pain and just questions and just bewilderment and just sadness and just loss, we see Clifford fully clothed, but metaphorically butt naked and alone. No longer is he concealed in this moment. We see Clifford. Let's talk about murder. This all I got for y'all after this, okay? Okay? Little Murder has a comfortable spirit. We talked a little bit about Murder having the spirit of comfort when he was so loving and kind to Teak, right? But what I realized is that whatever space that Little Murder is in, he makes himself at home. Whatever space and place he's in, he makes himself at home. He sets up camp, if you will. Okay? He sets up camp. He makes things nice for himself and for others around him, because he creates his comfort solely based off of his circumstances. When his circumstances change, he's knocked off his square. Okay? Now, circumstances change for a lot of reasons for Murder this season. The tour, the Teak situation, but also his choice to become a murderer, to commit cold-blooded murder. Murder is a killer. Okay, he playing house with Clifford, until it's tour time. And then on tour time, he gonna be what they need him to be at tour time, right? He gonna get comfortable there too. And I say comfortable instead of complacent, because comfort denotes the fact that not only does he make himself comfortable, but he makes everybody else comfortable with his being there, with his being in that space. He creates a comfortable space for them too. On tour, he gonna be everything Tina Snow need. Okay. At the same time, he's on that tour and bus with Tina Snow, and he's promoting the first leg of their tour, which is gonna start at the Pynk. It's gonna bring money in for his boyfriend, for Clifford, girlfriend, whatever, for Clifford. Right? So he's doing Clifford a solid too, right? At the same time. You can't be lukewarm. You got to be hot or you got to be cold. Okay? That's just what it is. That's just what it is. You're going to have to decide. You're going to have to stand in something, even though it might not be a place of comfort for you, little Myrtle. Can't rely on this comfortable spirit. Okay, when he has this conversation, when he comes in, he has this conversation with Clifford. It is to, kind of let Clifford know it's okay. Like, it's cool. I still like you too. He's letting Tina Snow pour liquor down his throat and everything, and but at the same time he wanna let Clifford know this all just for the tour. Comfortable. That's how he stays comfortable, is by making everyone else feel comfortable. Okay, you hear me now, don't you? Okay. When he takes the stage, his performance is just average. Murder is off. He's off. Now, his gang is there, and Maine's gang is there, and they've been watching him, and they've been talking about it. He has not took credit for Pico, but if you say one thing in these lyrics, they give somebody the idea that you may have done this, it's about to be on and popping right here, right now. So he up there rapping, and Main gang don't like that, and so they start talking out loud to his boys, to Murder's boys, Murder's gang, and a fight breaks out, and then Murder jumps in. Tina Snow gets ushered off. Keyshawn, who is dancing beautifully on the pole for Mercedes and everybody to admire, she done got down to the bottom of the pole, and she is cowering. Murder been taken to the back. It's full-on melee. I mean, people is running and scattering everywhere. Full-on melee. Murder been taken to the back, and that's when he has this conversation with Clifford, where Clifford is trying to figure out what's going on with him, and he is just screaming and hollering and yelling and knocking over stuff. And man, how dare they disrespect me? That's not right. And what yada yada. And boom, 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 boom. Angry, 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 angry. See, Maine's gang pulled him out of his comfort zone, pulled him out of this place of comfort, right? He thought, I got it. I'm going to balance the Clifford situation over here. I'm going to balance the tour situation over here. Okay? Be all things to everybody, and nobody's going to be the wise, right? But he's been knocked off of his square. His circumstances have changed drastically, and he has not had the time to adjust. He is mad, out of sorts, confused. Okay? Completely confused. I mean, he seems shocked almost that what he did is coming back on him. He seems almost indignant. Like, how dare they? How dare they? Listen. Let's talk about Murder. Murder killed this man not because it was in self-defense. And he didn't kill this man because this man killed Teak. He killed this man because ultimately this man knew something, was spreading something, had the potential to tear up everything he was building, working for, keeping comfortable. That's why he ultimately killed Pico. That's why. He's a murderer. Y'all know I love Murder. Y'all know I love him, but I just got to say it. I got to call it like it is. Okay? All right. In this moment, there's listen. There's no comfort for Clifford. He's not thinking about Tina Snow. So we see him clearing his mind with his music when Mercedes comes in and shows up in the doorway. And there is when we see him do what he does best. Slips back into that place as the comforter. That's where he is comfortable. Okay? He makes things better. He lifts her up. He gives her kudos, her shout out, her accolades. He gives her crown. He talks about how her very presence makes him nervous. So he makes himself comfortable in that situation by ingratiating himself. It was definitely the truth. I think he meant it, but it's a good example of what I mean when I say he has a comfortable spirit. The spirit that's inside of him makes things comfortable. If you're comfortable there, you're less likely to leave. If you're comfortable there, you're less likely to pop off, to go off. If you're comfortable there, you don't want to mess it up. You don't want it to mess you up, right? But if you're comfortable, you're not progressing. You don't progress through comfort. Comfort is meant to be a way station, an oasis in the middle of a otherwise desert. This is a journey that we're on. We're not to get comfortable. We're to sip from the cup of comfort. The cup of comfort, right? We're to have a form of comfort, right? But we're to always be progressing and moving. He wants to hold on to this thug lifestyle, but he's intrigued by the world that Clifford has created within her own life. He wants this music and he wants this lifestyle. In order to do that, he has to keep that comfortable spirit. This episode is going to be continued next week. To be continued. That's how the episode ends. This is my review for PValley, episode 9, Snow, aka The Spirit of a Thing. I didn't do the spirit of Big Bone. I didn't do that because I don't think we're going to have Big Bone with us very much longer. I think the Big Bone character is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, which is bringing this whole Montavious thing, all the Montavious chickens home to roost. She's working in that vein, and I don't think she's going to be a more prolific character beyond this season, in my opinion. So that is why I didn't bother with naming her spirit. Okay, but what do you tell me? You guys tell me what you think about some of the things that I've said about our other characters. Do you see it? Do you think that I'm stretching, I'm reaching, or whatever? I'd love to know. Y'all put it down below. If you go back and read my comments, you'll see that people are allowed to disagree with me. I'm not offended by that at all. I welcome the dialogue. But I would love to know what you guys think. I'd love to know what you guys think about what happened in the Portal to Hell room, how that has shifted things with our characters, and those things that could have been considered of their gifting has some sort of way been tainted and has now become internal hauntings, if you will. So when we look at Autumn, we say, oh, light skin and she's stiff and she can't dance and yada 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 yada. Maybe we don't look at it as Autumn. Maybe we look at it as the spirit inside of Autumn. And maybe we can have conversation that doesn't always involve insults. Just saying. Okay, y'all tell me what you think. Put it down below. And until next time, honeybees. Holla.